think cycling is a very good first and last mile option for commuters to access public transport, and we also find over a period of time there is a lot of interest and enthusiasm, especially among the young crowd, to embrace cycling. And I think what is the most important hindrance or impediment is the lack of infrastructure. Therefore, people do not feel it is safe to cycle. So our intention is to improve the capabilities of all the agencies involved in developing the infrastructure, so that we can develop and maintain a safe infrastructure for cycling, and thereby encourage more people, especially women, to take up cycling as a first mile, last mile commute, or a commuting option for moving in the neighborhood.
This workshop is being conducted in cooperation with MOHUA in the context of the Green Urban Mobility Partnership between the German government and the ministry, and we are being hosted by the government of Karnataka here. We as German Development Corporation GIZ, we encourage the government of India's efforts to promote cycling. Cycling is so important. It comes to inclusive cities, if it comes to transformation of urban mobility, and also if it comes to providing first and last mile connectivity. Our Dutch colleagues who are so experienced in cycling, and they train our counterparts in cycling infrastructure.
Good morning, class. Hello.
हम अपने भी लिए करते हैं, अपने रोजगार के लिए भी करते हैं, अपना बाल बच्चे के लिए भी करते हैं। हम शुरू से, आज से नहीं, हमको हो गया 20 साल मैसूर में बसे हुए। हम साइकिल पर व्यापार हम शुरू से करते आ रहे हैं।
तो अगर साइकिल नहीं होता तो आप काम पे कैसे आते हैं?
नहीं आते हैं, छुट्टी कर देते हैं।
जब साइकिल किसी
नहीं
खराब हो
छुट्टी
जाता
कर
है,
साइकिल खराब हो गया तो रिपेयरिंग करने के लिए आता, तो उस दिन हम छुट्टी कर देते हैं।
तो महसूस होता है क्योंकि ट्रैफिक में बहुत सारे सिर्फ गाड़ी है, 4 व्हीलर होते हैं ना, तो साइकिल के लिए जगह नहीं मिलती ठीक से। सिर्फ साइकिल के लिए एक अच्छा रोड होना चाहिए, वैसा मेरा ओपिनियन है। जैसे कार्स के लिए रूल्स है, साइकिल्स के लिए भी थोड़े रूल्स होने चाहिए।
ನಾನು 70ನೇ ಇಸ್ವಿಯಿಂದ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಹೊಡಿತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. 2 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೂಲಿ ಕೊಡೋರು ವಾರಕ್ಕೆ, ದಿವಸ 10 ಪೈಸೆ ಕೊಡೋದು ಸರ್. ಅವಲಿಂದ ನಾನು ಸೈಕಲ್ಲೇ ಸರ್ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. ಭಾರಿ ಒಳ್ಳೇದು ಸರ್, ಸೈಕಲ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಒಳ್ಳೇದು. ನಾವು ಕೂತಂಗೆ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್, ಮಂಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಫ್ರೀ ಆಯ್ತದೆ, ಕೈ ಕಾಲೆಲ್ಲ ಫ್ರೀ ಆಯ್ತದೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ನಾನು ಸೈಕಲ್ಲೇ ಸರ್ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡೋದು.
ಸೈಕಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಆದರೆ ಏನಂತ ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ. ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋರು ತುಂಬ ಜನ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಅಂತಂದರೆ. ಎರಾಬೇರಿ ಓಡಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಗಾಡಿ ಅವ್ರದ್ದೇ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಸೈಕಲಿಂಗ್. ಅವ್ರು ಸೈಡಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಓಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ರೋಡಲ್ಲಿ ಸೈಕ್ಲಿಂಗ್ಗೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ವೇ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ.
One of the issues that we found was that most of the municipal engineers or planners, they know how to design a street, but they do not know how to design an inclusive street. A street where which takes into account the requirements of a cyclist, a pedestrian, a public transport user. Therefore, we thought what is needed is a capacity building exercise where we put together, we call all the engineers from the municipal bodies, and then we make them understand why it is important to think about developing streets for all and not only for motor vehicles to pass through. That is the reason why when GIZ offered this opportunity to have this cycling workshop conducted in collaboration with the Dutch Cycling Embassy, we were very happy, because we thought that gives us an opportunity to learn from the best in the business. We all know that Netherlands has a very good cycling culture, and they have been working on improving or making their cities cycling friendly for a very long time, and we know we can learn a lot on planning and design of cycle lanes from them. Therefore, we thought this workshop would be an opportunity where we can get all our planners and also the municipal officers and the municipal engineers, and they can learn from the best.
We were very pleased to have an enthusiastic but also very knowledgeable group of participants for the 5 days that we were training. We really saw that the participants were learning throughout the week and were growing their expertise and knowledge.
As GIZ, we are honoured to have the Directorate of Urban Land Transport, Government of Karnataka as our partner on this training program. Teams have worked closely with each other right from its inception to the complete rollout. We are also excited to have the Dutch Cycling Embassy as our training partner, who've gone the extra mile to develop and contextualize the training material to meet the requirements of the participants from our partner states.
We have a 5-day program here with very enthusiastic participants, and every day we deal with a specific topic of bicycle planning. For instance, we discussed about network planning, we discussed about street design, we also discussed about governments and the integration of public transport and bicycles. We apply multiple teaching methods. We have lectures, we have individual assignments, we have group work. We also have site visits. And last but not least, we also apply the serious game to find the optimal mix of modes.
That the participants become enthusiastic about cycling, because we know quite of them themselves are not practical cyclists, but they have to design cycle roads and they have to make infrastructure. And it works very good if you yourself have experience with cycling, that you know how to do it, and that they really are motivated to work on this, because that's good for their own city.
Let us do away with the term bicycle, because it is very specific only to a class of people. Let's use the word cycle.
Our aim was to learn the participants our Dutch way of working. So not just knowledge exchange, but a combination of lectures and activities. By building up more knowledge about how we work, how we do that, not just learning what we have done, but more learning how we achieve that. We did some interactive sessions to let them know how can you build a network in the Dutch way. How can you have a more holistic approach by combining bike and transit, and not just building up a station, but also learning how to make the environment in total in the best way.
So how do we make sure that our Dutch knowledge applies to the local context? There's 3 things to this. In the first place, we are here. So we are here on site and we are not at a distance. This helps us to better understand the local context. Secondly, we go outside. We go outside for site visits and we actually experience how it is to cycle over here. On site we can explain and observe the local situation. And thirdly, we have translated Dutch knowledge into certain principles, and we teach our participants how to apply the principles.
This 5 days I have been a different perspective on what I learned before and what I have now. So it is a different feeling actually, and also a lot of things I learned what I have to do in my city to improve the cycling and how it can be improved in different ways, and the mode and what I can be done to bring more people to cycling.
What my takeaway from this training is, when I do a master plan in my future, I'm really going to take this bicycle infrastructure in circulation pattern or everything. So this was really helpful and this is inspiring.
Of course, this capacity building training is just a start. It's the beginning of something bigger. The most important thing is what the participants bring with them back home.
I'm particularly delighted to have received tremendous positive feedback from the participants on the relevance and usefulness of the training that they've received. We look forward to cities benefiting from all our capacity building efforts.
It's extremely heartening for us to actually be a part of such events, because it gives us a chance to also improve the carbon footprint and then leave this planet a better place than how we inherited. So thank you GIZ, thank you to the Consular Generals of Netherlands and Germany, and of course a big thank you to the DULT Commissioner Manjula. Thank you, deeply appreciate this initiative from Bosch.
I congratulate GIZ and DULT for organizing this very important capacity building workshop in association with the Dutch Cycle Embassy. I am very confident that the participants shall gain in-depth knowledge by learning from global best practices and further push cycling as a preferred mode for commute.